Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I got yet another spooky movie review for you guys, but today is special because today is Halloween. And what better to do for Halloween specifically than give you guys two videos? But what two movies specifically do I want to do? I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what I've not had so far? On this entire movie review that I've done, I've not had a 10 out of 10 movie yet. What I consider a perfect movie. So, there just so happens to be two horror movies which I absolutely love so much that are 10 out of 10s. One is this first movie that I'll talk about, and then one will be my next video. I'm not going to spoil it, but I plan on recording it soon after. I watched these a couple days ago and wrote down a little bit of notes. But let's get into it. So specifically today we got A Quiet Place. Now, this movie was rated a 7.5 on IMDb. And like I said in the intro, I think this movie is a 10 out of 10. And why do I think this movie is a 10 out of 10? This is a perfect horror movie because I've never watched a movie that's had so little dialect and I've been so invested into it. Every single time I watch it, and this is the original, I've not seen A Quiet Place 2 or year like before Quiet Place or whatever the latest movie is. I've not seen them. But I love the original. I think this movie is amazing. I plan on eventually watching the newer A Quiet Place movies for you guys. Um, partially for you and also partially for me because I would love to see where the series goes. I absolutely love this film. I love the fact that you go through hearing first the characters that can hear. It's like, oh, you're hearing the sounds around them and all these different things. And then there is like the who you could argue is the main character is the daughter. She is deaf, and whenever it pans to her and it's specifically focusing on her, you almost experience it the same way that she would because everything goes silent. Um, I think that there's honestly probably nothing wrong with this movie in my opinion. And I don't know why. I think this way, but with me when it comes to film, if I first watch I'm like, wow, this movie is special, I immediately gravitate towards loving it more. And with A Quiet Place, that's how I felt because it's so unique. I've legitimately like I said it like earlier, but like they don't really talk in the film and it's still so investing and you have um one to one like interactions between characters and you have the daughter who blamed herself for the death of her young brother. I will not explain what happens. um and you have that toying with her and just this rewatch that I did of it, I just sat there and I imagined how much like rough and how like many emotions and like just the extreme that you would feel being in that situation that she was. And I could only imagine like there are probably situations where legitimately like young kids suffer through trauma because of someone passing away and they couldn't save them. And so I just was really just sympathizing with her character because I was like, oh my goodness, I could not imagine. Because you see, it's not just her that's torn up about it, every member of the family is sad about it. And she blames herself, and it just breaks my heart every single time I watch it because I could only imagine what that would feel like, what that would be like. And it's just like, I don't I don't know with most people if they really notice that, but I don't know. It just felt so like so much empathy for that character, and I think the uh, look of the movie looks great. Good CGI. I think there are amazing dramatic scenes in this movie. I think there are like so many things about this movie have made it so special to me. And it's like little aspects of it, like little details where early in the early in the movie she's carrying up a sack of something and then a nail gets put up. And then you're like, okay, some people won't really remember that. But you're like, okay, and it's in the back of your mind if you think about it. You're like, okay, well, what about that now? And the next thing you know, it pays off later down the line. And I like little things like that. I love that and I eat that up. And this movie, from the first time I watched it, immediately went on my top 5 movie list. That to me is what makes me, anytime someone is like, what's one of your favorite horror movies? This one will be one that I gravitate towards immediately, and it's been that way since I have watched it. It unfortunately is not my favorite horror movie. That will be reviewed later today. But let's go into a little bit more about the my overall experience. Um, I gotta say, I watched it and like this time I couldn't fully focus for whatever reason for the first few minutes of the movie. And then all of a sudden it just like fully clicked. I was like, oh yeah, this movie's freaking great. And so I was sitting there and I just felt like there were so many more details about this movie. And I would love to explain that more, and but I don't really want to spoil it because there is when it comes to my next movie that I'm reviewing later today, it's probably going to low key be a full on spoiler because of how much I want to talk about in depth about that movie. But that's for later. Um, I watched it on my TV in a dark room. And honestly, if you cannot go to a movie theater to watch a movie, if you can do that in a dark room, just having a horror movie up there, I think there's honestly probably nothing better. And it was just a great atmosphere for this movie specifically. And I had it real loud. And it's just remarkable. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It has intense moments in it. And it has a moment in the film where it once again pays off later on. The son says to the dad, "You should tell her you love her," talking about the daughter. And he was like, "Well, yeah, she knows I love her, but it's that reassuring it." And it also is like something I feel like a lot of people can relate to, where they feel like they don't get an I love you or they don't get things like that from their parents. And it can lead to like kids forming like a detachment from their parents. So I love that that was still like an undertone in this, and it paid off beautifully when he signed I love you and I always have loved you. And I literally, every single time that happens, I tear up because it's so beautiful and it's so amazing because it pays off. And it's just like, uh, John, hmm, I'm, you know what? I'm not trying his last name. The director of this movie did such a great job. He also was the dad in this movie. Um, Once again, I will probably end up eventually watching uh, A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place. I mean, A Quiet Place 2, and then Before A Quiet Place, or whatever the original or like the prequel is. But I definitely plan on watching those for you guys, especially if you're interested. Um, if you have not seen this movie, there's no reason why you should not. It is so special of a movie, and it runs in at an hour and 30 minutes. So you honestly won't even spend that much time on it. That's nothing, honestly. Hour and 30 minutes gone, bam. Go on to the next thing. But that's it pretty much for my review. Definitely should check it out. I just want to just give a few moments to just talk about this overall series that I've done for you guys. I want to say I thank you guys so freaking much. You guys are so awesome. I have hit over 1,000 views within the last month, which is insane to me. And like, it gets me goosebumps, and I get like excited talking about it. Like, honestly, shout out to my friends like in real life who still like to talk to me for some reason, even though all I can do is talk about like making content because I love doing it so much. Um, I want to try and get more consistent content out for you guys and better quality content. I want to specifically say that. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up 1 second. Okay, the most viewed video I have right now is. Oh no, it did. Okay, there it is. There it is. It is my Get Out review. It is at 263 views of the recording of this video. And honestly, I am overjoyed about that because that's so awesome that I had even views when I look at this. I'm having videos with like 20, 40, like 50 views. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome because that's random people online deciding to watch me, and that's freaking like amazing. And I'm just repeating myself over and over again. I do apologize, but really, I do want to say thank you guys so much. I've had so much fun with this series. It really has wanted me to like push me to try and make more content for you guys, and thinking of making better content. Like, I wanted to do more wrestling content, of course, because that is my true number one love. It will always be wrestling. And I do plan on getting more wrestling content out to you for you guys. I'll even spoil a little bit. Um, the Royal Rumble, I will be going to live, and maybe I'll get some clips from me reacting to any returns or anything like that. But anyway, um, I want to continue making this series, whether that be weekly or couple a week or something like that. I've not fully decided, but just stay tuned. I love this series, and I think the reason why Get Out is the most viewed one is because that's the one, like the script that I wrote for it. And for me, a script is not word for word what I'm going to say. It's bullet points, pretty much, or like my thoughts and opinions, so I can look at it and be like, okay, make sure I talk about these certain points. And that one specifically is a page long, and one of the longest videos I have recorded. But that's not going to be my longest video that I've recorded. I plan on posting that within the next month, which I wanted to get that video out specifically like a couple months ago, but it's taken a lot more research than I was expecting because I want to make sure it's a really good video for you guys. I'm not going to spoil it, but just know there's some really good videos that I plan on getting out for you guys that I'm at least excited for. And if anyone who is subscribed is watching this, maybe you'll be a little excited. But that's it for today's video. But it's not the last one for today. You guys have a great rest of your day and have a happy Halloween.